Well, WrestleMania season is behind us, some maybe for the better, according to some people. However, Backstage in WWE still carries on. I am your host, well, one of them, John Fisher here, still alive after how many hours of wrestling? Let's 7, 3, and that's 5. 12 hours of wrestling in 3 days. Well, no, let's include TakeOver. That's just 3. 15 hours of wrestling in 4 days.
Yeah, we don't count the minor leagues.
Well, they put on a better show. I don't know. I'm just saying.
I don't know about that.
If you didn't like Gargano and Ciampa after the story they told, then you hate literally everything that's good about wrestling.
No, I thought they told a great story. I did. I thought, they told a terrific story leading up to the match and everything. My criticism of that, of course, was, for as brutal as the match was, it went way too long. So that was not very realistic. But yeah, it was fine. I mean, it's two little guys. I mean, that's it's not a main event to me. But yeah, it was a great story.
I'm glad you can at least admit that. However, we're not here to talk about NXT. There's other podcasts that do that. We're here to talk about WrestleMania, Raw, SmackDown Live, and everything in between. Well, I guess there's not really anything in between. It's just those 3 things, but of how big they are. So as we predicted, I honestly don't even remember my predictions. I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't even write them down.
I do remember some of your predictions.
Did you?
Yeah.
Well, I do a prediction game with my friends, and I took that seriously. I did not take ours very seriously because our predictions, I wanted to think outside the box and be like, well, I guess maybe they can do A, B, C, or D and not disappoint anybody. So it was, I was just trying to, get myself excited. Now,
it sounds like you're making some excuses, John. I'm going to be honest with you.
Well, the score sheet that matters, the one where I can win free pizza, I won, which is good. So I get free pizza this coming weekend. I did well there, and I'll go through and tell you who I picked from that. So as you are, can we skip the Cruiserweight Championship match? It was okay, but
I mean, it belonged exactly in the pre-show. I thought it was just, a match. It was
a pre-show match, and they were happy at the end.
Special, and it was stupid. They tried to create the, he's hugging him, and they're, buddies that had the great battle. It was Bret Hart and Davey Boy Smith. It was, I mean, come on.
Buddy Murphy should have been in that match, not Cedric, the not entertaining Alexander.
Yeah, it's just whatever, man. And the match wasn't even that good.
It was okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you didn't know why the Cruiserweight Championship Tournament Finals match was on the kickoff show, you probably did after watching the match.
I mean, what were they given? 10 minutes, 12 minutes-ish?
Yeah, 12 minutes. Too long.
Well, again, subjective art form. I liked the Fatal 4-Way on 205 Live from a week ago. That was good to me. But this, I don't know. It didn't feel special, which I was hoping it would have. Oh, well. That was the Cruiserweights. What other matches were in the pre-show? We had the women's and men's armbar, respectively.
Yeah, Andre.
We both called the men's. Matt Hardy.
I even said, Matt or maybe Bray comes back or something or whatever. And actually, of course, Matt wins, but he wins with the help of Bray Wyatt.
And I'm okay with him not getting a different gimmick for now. At least
whatever. It's fine. I mean, they're going to be an entertaining tag team, I guess. It's a character, so
yeah.
They eliminated my boy Baron Corbin to win.
Yeah, fuck him. Sorry, there's a new top heel on SmackDown, but we'll get to that later. Who actually gets heat? But yeah, so the men's armbar, you can't even deny it. The men's armbar was pretty good. It was fine. The ending was cool.
Yeah, it was it was a fun match for what it was.
And I'm glad it was fun because last 3 years were, well, outside of the Gronkowski ordeal, they were kind of stupid.
I was pretty excited when Baron won. Actually, I don't think that was
Yeah, well, you were the only one. Now, getting to the women's armbar, I was so excited when Bayley won because I'm like, oh, that's gonna set up like the big interaction. It's gonna be great. And then Naomi comes out from the side of the ring. Like, when the hell did she leave the ring? They never focused on it. Number one, which may have been on purpose. But like, what the hell? I don't hate Naomi. She's an athlete, and she's whatever. It's so under freaking whelming.
Oh, it was so stupid, man. That was just talk about anticlimactic. So they stick Sasha and Bayley in this battle royal instead of a match. And then there's no payoff because Naomi wins. She just eliminates Bayley and wins.
That's why the ending was good before Naomi came back into the ring.
Because, look, if you're going to have the feud with Sasha and Bayley, why would you not have the Hogan-Sid moment where Sasha gets eliminated and then pulls Bayley out and Naomi helps kind of just tip her over and Naomi wins that way?
Yeah.
That way you get the heat on Sasha and Bayley gets screwed and you still have someone else win. Just like when Flair won after Hogan eliminated Sid. I thought that's how they should have done it if Naomi was going to win, although I thought it should have been Bayley eliminating Sasha for the win. You picked Sasha, I picked Bayley.
Yeah.
And we were both wrong there. I don't think anybody saw Naomi winning this one. And I don't really get it. So, whatever.
Now, why did they decide to do that? What was the whole point?
I don't know, man. I mean, they have totally dropped the ball on this entire Sasha and Bayley feud. And it's like, it's like they're teasing turns. They're kind of turning, but they're not fully turning on each other. It's like all they have done, they have turned this feud into a giant cat fight. It's like two women catfighting with each other who are mad at each other instead of, this real serious thing. So it's just stupid.
Yeah. And it could have been really good. I mean, hell, their feud in NXT was written very well.
Bayley should have turned heel, period. And maybe they'll still do that, but she needs it, man. Her character's going nowhere. She needs it. She needs a change, and I think it would actually be a big hit. I
think it would too. Because no one sees it coming. Still, I don't think people do. Missed opportunities. That was an underlining theme slightly throughout the evening or throughout the weekend. Now that was the pre-show. No, it was what it was, and then onto the main card where the Intercontinental title started off the show, and it was the outcome a lot of people were expecting, and they weren't mad at. I think they had a good chemistry in the ring, and Seth comes out on top in a good moment. The people were happy. Good start to a WrestleMania for the first time in a little while.
Yeah, it was fine. I mean, I picked Seth. You picked Finn. And, I thought, Seth, it's whatever. But why not let Miz retain the title? He
has daddy duty.
Yeah,
and you can associate with that.
Yeah. Who's your daddy?
Yeah, Miz needs some time off. He's doing paternity leave, and then he's going to go to SmackDown and kick ass again. Right? He should.
I guess we'll see. But, yeah, I mean, it's fine. It wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be from a match standpoint, but it was fine.
If they would have had a little bit more time, and I just mean 10 minutes, not 30, I think they could have put on a little bit of a better show. There was so much shit all night. And I mean, thank God they didn't do a Kid Rock concert, for the love of God. That was
well, he couldn't be bothered to show up. He had a cruise to go on or something.
Is that what happened?
Yeah. Yeah, it was actually, I think, like the next day or something. Like, it wasn't even WrestleMania day. It was like the day after or something.
Well, then Flo Rida confirmed for next year.
But he when he got inducted into the Hall of Fame, he made sure to tell everyone that it was more important than a Grammy.
Okay.
But he couldn't be bothered to show up for wrestling. Oh, whatever. Okay. Yeah, so that was that. And I'm not going to do these in order per se. There's too many fucking matches, so I don't remember that shit. So we also had the Raw Women's Championship, Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax.
I liked it personally a lot. I'm sure you did not.
Why do you think I didn't like that?
Well, let me think. I'm sure you thought it should have been a squash because, well,
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
I didn't
true.
think it could have been because I know they can put on good matches together because they have and they did.
It's not all about good matches. Sometimes it's about the story.
They did. Cena and Taker was about the story. What else do you want?
I wanted Nia Jax to sit on Alexa Bliss. That's what I wanted.
I mean, she did. She pretty much beat her ass the whole match. It was only like 8 minutes long.
I thought Alexa got in too much in offense and it went too long, but I mean that's just my opinion. It's fine. It was fine. I mean, at the end of the day, the right person won the feud, and it was fine.
Of course. Now let's switch gears to the SmackDown.
And we both did pick Nia Jax, by the way.
Oh well, of course,
Yeah.
But none of us picked Charlotte. Now I'd like to hear your opines on this little ditty because I'm sure not even your favorite analyst, Dave Meltzer, knew that Asuka was going to lose.
Yeah, so this was very interesting because originally Asuka was going to win
with the Carmella cash-in.
With the Carmella cash-in, Carmella was going to lose, and the big match they were going to build to was Asuka and Ronda Rousey. Now, you may have heard me promote that I believe personally the biggest match they could do is Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte.
It sure looks like it.
And they finally came around to that opinion. At some point in the past few weeks, I don't know exactly when, but it's around the time that Asuka stopped using the armbar, that they made the decision that Charlotte was going to go over in the streak and be the person. And Vince lost faith in Asuka as that top woman to face Ronda Rousey. And so that's essentially what happened.
Well, that's fine and all, but, Asuka, I think, is still the third biggest draw in the women's division. She's the best. You're gonna disagree with me here. I think Asuka's a better worker than Charlotte is. She's clearly better than Ronda because Ronda doesn't have nearly as much experience. But Asuka and Charlotte put on a really good match. Asuka can work with anybody. In fact, she proved that in her how many wins, like 300 and some in a row. And while I agree that Rousey Charlotte's the money match, Asuka should be put aside because she can't speak English, and whose fault is that? It's not Asuka. She's not fucking American. She's Japanese.
Yeah, but she knew that when she signed the deal.
That's fine.
This is entertainment. This is fake fighting. It's entertainment. So you have to be able to cut a promo, and she had to have known that when she signed the deal.
Okay. That's cool. I agree with you. But now, why can't the company get behind them and give them English-speaking lessons? Shinsuke doesn't do half bad. He is very intelligent from what I hear, and he took the time out to actually learn English properly, and it shows. Comparing to his debut and to now.
Well, I mean, I think they've presented them, in I guess a poor light. And that if that is a weakness, why would you highlight that? So
that's also true. But so the match was good. The result was, I think, it was unexpected. There was a lot of unexpected finishes tonight or Sunday night, but I'm not upset about it. So let's take Cena with Elias intervening.
Oh God! And I'm so glad this is over because how long? I mean, I have literally been telling people since December that this was a match, and this was a match happening at WrestleMania 34, not 35, not SummerSlam, blah, blah, blah. Dude, you have no idea how many tweets and direct messages I got on Twitter throughout the build-up to the match, including during the show, WrestleMania.
Yikes.
I don't think the match is going to happen. Is the match going to happen? He's going to face Elias instead, blah, blah, blah.
Well,
it's like, Jesus Christ.
They weren't wrong about that last part, sort of.
It's just kind of, it's whatever. But yeah, that's been the plan all along. And Vince decided to do things a little differently and make it unpredictable because he didn't think it would be like an extra money draw. They didn't need it at that point.
And he was right.
Yeah, so it was interesting. Although I kind of wondered, I have to be honest. It was John Cena drinking beer.
Yeah, he was.
I mean, that's something I would be curious about, just because the wellness policy in WWE doesn't allow them to drink 12 hours before the show. They can't have any alcohol in their system.
Well, Triple H. That's
Well,
all.
we all know he's exempt from the wellness policy. I mean, the guy is just out of his goddamn mind.
So is Nicholas.
Yeah, he's on that Triple H workout plan.
But did you like the squash? I thought it was done well.
What squash?
Taker won in 2 minutes.
Oh, it's fine. I mean, okay. So, yeah, we both picked Undertaker. We both thought he would win. And, it's fine. Especially, is the feud over? Are they going to continue this? If they're going to continue it, it's fine. If not, it's fine anyway. Whatever. Who really cares? I mean, I don't like, if they're not telling another story besides that, I don't really like it. And that, could have been a much bigger marquee match that was more important, but whatever. Undertaker looks like a brand new man with a new hip.
He did, Dean turned to me. He says, Undertaker doesn't look half bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big improvement, honestly, when you look at the Roman Reigns match. He looked a lot better than that.
To be, Devil's. I'm not trying to play devil's advocate here, but you're also asking for Taker to work with a guy like Cena and then a guy like Roman. Cena's much more trustworthy. He's better in the ring. So I think Taker knew he could take a little bit more liberty with his move selection with a guy like John. And the match was shorter. Like, why would you ask Taker to wrestle a 20-minute fucking match? It doesn't make any sense because he can't and he doesn't have to.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think that's a good idea. He shouldn't be the guy having 20-minute WrestleMania matches anymore.
He should have 6 at the most. But I know we'll see. And I got to give props to Elias. He handled that crowd very well. And if he doesn't win a main event championship within the next year or two, that's kind of a shame. Because the guys
clearly not. They're not doing anything with them. I mean, they have a guy who's a true character and who's truly entertaining.
He's a pro. He can on Raw. Look how he handled the fucking crowd. He was trying to make them boom, and they just wouldn't do it.
It's they're just not going to do a lot with them. It's a shame.
I know.
There's a lot of untapped potential there.
There is. All right. So what do you got next?
Let's go with the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match.
I know you don't like the Bludgeon Brothers anymore, but the match was quick. They did dirty work of the two face tag teams, and it presented them well as a heel team. I was all right with it. It was okay.
Oh, man, it was a bad match. One of the worst of the night. And it was so short. And it was just meant to get the Bludgeon Brothers over strong, and that's what it did. And it was just... you're the New Day. You had years of being in WWE, never being on the main card at WrestleMania, and you finally are, and it's basically a 6-minute squash where you lose. Kind of sucks, but... Whatever. Exactly right. I'm very bored by the Bludgeon Brothers anyway. So
I would say that give them some time. Maybe they'll make them interesting. Authors of Pain versus the Bludgeon Brothers will be kind of cool. We won't see that though, I don't think. At least not for a while.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's enough Bludgeon Brothers talk. I'm already falling asleep.
Mixed tag?
Yeah, we could talk about that.
Ronda Rousey, please tell me you think she's more than just fine.
I thought she was great.
Mm-hmm.
I thought she exceeded expectations.
Big time.
And I thought this is a superstar in the making. And I thought it was the best match of the night.
I have a hard time thinking what would rival it. I don't know. AJ Shinsuke I liked for a whole nother reason. So yeah, I can. It was the most entertaining. because Triple H and Steph were such good heels, and Kurt was great, Ronda was great. The crowd fed into it, and yeah, I got to say it was fun.
It was definitely fun. It was a spectacle, just as I thought it would be. I didn't like Stephanie getting in the offense she did and breaking out of the armbar once. I thought it looked totally fake and ridiculous, but that aside, I thought it was great.
Well, it's not. Stephanie's not a worker, and she never will be. I mean, it was what it was.
Yeah.
But how about Kurt and Triple H, though? And that's another question. How much do you think of Rousey's excellence that night was because of Triple H and Kurt Angle being there? Can she handle a match on her own?
Well, yeah, that'll be a big test. And if you've got high expectations, you should probably pump those brakes a little bit. I mean, she was put in that match to be protected, and we talked about that for quite a while now, and that's very smart.
Yeah.
And that's what they should have done. And so she'll start going in that direction of singles matches, and she'll need to improve, etc. But, you know, based on what we've seen with just her in-ring segments where she's getting physical, this was a big improvement. So,
oh, absolutely.
I don't know what the disconnect there was, but it's definitely, I would say she's a superstar in the making, and they just have to book her very smart and, you know, protect her.
And I hope they do, for her sake and ours, because we have to watch it. Let's go to the other tag, Daniel and Shane versus Kevin and Sammy.
This really killed the crowd, in my opinion.
Well, what did this follow? What was before this?
Oh, jeez.
I don't remember.
Good question. I don't remember. I can't remember. Too many matches, man.
34 card. I just want the Wikipedia, damn it.
Well, while you're doing that, I mean, you know, the thing that killed the crowd to me was Daniel Bryan getting injured, quote unquote, you know, in the match. And just sitting there for so long for most of the match.
They wanted that hot tag reaction.
I know, but it was so stupid because people wanted to see Daniel Bryan wrestle. And as soon as he was out of the match, and that's, you know, God, it just killed the crowd.
Taker Cena was before it.
Yeah.
Which the crowd was hot for that.
Yes, they were. They were absolutely very hot for that.
So, yeah.
But this killed it. This absolutely killed it. And it was the Daniel Bryan spot getting injured.
Yeah.
It was fine. I mean, you know, we both picked Daniel Bryan and Shane to win.
Well, it was predictable ending, but yeah. I don't care. Oh, well.
This is fine. I mean, you know, whatever.
Now let's finish off with the other tag. Your opinions are going to be good here. Braun versus Cesaro and Sheamus.
Hated it.
No, you did.
I absolutely fucking despise this. Way to make a mockery of the entire business of professional wrestling.
At least,
I mean,
at least
leave it to WWE to have Braun Strowman partner with a guy who's barely bigger than the Young Bucks.
Too sweet. Whoop whoop.
Now I lost my train of thought, popping myself. But I mean, this was so bad. For every fan who talks shit about Vince Russo and putting the title on David Arquette, if you also were okay with Braun Strowman and a 10-year-old winning the tag team titles,
John Cone's son,
then you must be okay with David Arquette. I just don't get it. I thought it was so stupid. And we talked about, like, leading up to the show, that the narrative I had been told was that it would be someone that he didn't need. You know, basically he would do all the work. This was just someone to fill the role because he had to have a tag team partner.
Dean thought it was going to be Rey Mysterio.
No, it was never going to be Rey Mysterio because it was never going to be a guy, as I said, who would outshine Braun, because that's not what the narrative was.
And Ray, well, okay, that's another conversation for another day.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I just thought it was terrible. I thought it buried the entire tag team division on Raw. I thought it buried the bar. I thought it made Braun Strowman look too goofy and silly. I hated it, and I just fucking hated everything about it. That's really all I can say. And I quickly identified who the new tag team champion was. Nicholas, John Cone's son, WWE referee.
Yep.
And so I broke that story, and Newsweek picked it up, and blah blah blah. And so, I had someone tip that off to me, but I don't get it. I just thought, man, here's a guy, Braun Strowman, who is beating the hell out of Roman Reigns,
monster
who is
among
fighting
men.
with Brock Lesnar, and he's just destroyed everybody in the roster. And his match was to team with a 10-year-old at WrestleMania and win the tag team titles.
That has Vince McMahon written all over it.
Oh, absolutely. And people on Twitter, when I crapped on this match, people were giving me all kinds of shit. That's a Make-A-Wish kid. How dare you? Blah, blah.
It wasn't a Make-A-Wish kid.
You dumb motherfuckers. It was a referee's son. It was not a Make-A-Wish kid. Reading would be your friend, as Uncle Dave would say.
Yeah,
that's
true.
So I hated it. What were your thoughts on it?
You stole all my words.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was underwhelming. I hated it. It was dumb. Like,
Good.
Braun was funny when he beat up the caravan that Sheamus and Cesaro rode in on, because I'm like, that's kind of cool. Whatever. I thought Braun was going to choose these hands as his tag partner. I'm like, oh, that's clever. No, he didn't.
Well, he could have chosen the hand.
Yeah,
The hand
his
from
right hand.
Mark Henry.
Sure.
Yeah,
he could have chosen Mark Henry, and he could have gone out in a blaze of glory.
Yeah, he could have chosen Mark and May's hand. Get this hand. The hand's all grown up now. It's been many years since she gave birth to the hand. Get this hand. Get this hand.
Didn't the hand show up on Raw 1000?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, the hand's all grown up now. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The hand is of legal age. Could have gotten the license from the Athletic Commission in Louisiana and could have competed.
I know. It's a damn shame. Well, let's go on to another disappointing match. The Fatal 4-Way for the U.S. title. 8 minutes. It was fun for a little while until Jinder won and ruined it. I don't hate Jinder. Jinder's a good heel. People hate him. He's naturally, you can get... He can make you pissed off very easily, and he's good at his job. So kudos to Jinder. I mean that seriously. But wow. No one wanted him to win. Not even a chance. And he didn't need it. Bobby didn't need it. Randy doesn't care. The guy that needed it got the fucking, Maharajan elbow.
This was classic WWE booking. I mean, I saw this coming a mile away. Okay, so you picked Rusev.
I did.
I picked Jinder, and I said, although, of course, Rusev should win, he's not going to. The reason was, I mean, they added Rusev to this match because he's gotten over so big to get heat on Jinder. I mean, that's why they added him. I mean, they're using his popularity to get heat on Jinder because their thought is, oh, Rusev is really over. We can use that heat to get our guy over that we want to win. So fucking backwards, man. So that was the thought. So I knew it was just classic Vince. So yeah, Jinder wins, and we'll talk about his really exciting new feud coming up in just a little bit.
He doesn't have one. If you watch SmackDown, we booked it. He doesn't have a fucking feud right now. Last but not least, AJ Shinsuke. Now, okay, I know what you're gonna say. Blah blah blah. He can't speak English, whatever.
Well, he admitted that.
He did tonight, and did you laugh at that?
That popped me huge. I'm not even gonna lie.
Finally,
yeah. We need every foreign wrestler in WWE deserves to be an evil foreign heel. Come on.
Yeah,
pal.
That's a shoot, right?
Yeah.
AJ Shinsuke, it got 20 minutes. I feel like they tried too hard to plan this out. I feel like they're like, this is a dream match. Well, why is it a dream match? We don't know. They wrestled in New Japan, and that match was great right before AJ left the company. But the 20 minutes that they had, I felt like what happened after the match meant so much more than the entire match itself.
Yeah. I thought this match was perfectly fine for a WWE Championship match and nothing more. This was by no stretch of the imagination an exceptional match.
No, it was good. But that's it.
Well, and the problem with that is, as we've talked about, this entire match was built around it being a dream match, all based around the in-ring work of AJ and Shinsuke. And there's really been very, very weak, very little storytelling. So the problem is when you kind of live by the sword, you die by the sword. So when you're going to say, hey, this is two great in-ring workers having a great match and that's why you should care about it, and then they go out there and they don't deliver that, you've got nothing. I mean, you've got just something that's filling up time and it's perfectly fine and that's it.
Yeah, two guys grabbing each other.
Yeah.
So the Nakamura heel turn.
I liked it.
Good, me too. Yep. I think it's really... I've been told that Nakamura as a heel in New Japan was excellent. He knows how to do it well, so we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see the writing. We'll see how it goes. But I like the move.
I do too.
He's just... he was dead in the water as a babyface. I mean, I don't think he's had a great match on the main roster in WWE yet. And he's just, he's not a good promo. He's actually very bad. And, so I just haven't been a fan of his work, really, on the main roster in WWE. So this is definitely something he needed.
No, I can agree there. That was Mania, or no, Brock and Roman. What the fuck am I thinking?
Come on, pal. The future face of the company here.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Brock and Roman. Everyone hated it, but I don't think they know why they hated it. I thought the match was good. I was entertained, and it was what I knew it was going to be. Just a big fight between two big guys throwing each other around. Like, whatever. People are hating on Roman. He did well. When he bled on accident, I think it was on accident.
Well, he got cut open the hard way.
Yeah, the where it bled and how it bled makes me think otherwise, but that's beside the point. Usually, whenever Brock gives those elbows, he does it to the above the eyebrow, and that's where UFC fighters commonly bleed like fucking crazy. However,
well, that's what I'm saying.
But that wasn't his hairline. Either way, the match was good. Roman played off the emotion well. And he lost. Isn't that what people wanted? I just don't get people complain just to do it because it's cool.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't want either of them in the match, and I think a lot of the fans didn't either. When you talk about, okay, yeah, the match was totally brutal. In fact, it was kind of difficult to watch from that. It was just so brutal.
It was.
But, I mean, the problem was the fans weren't going to give this a chance. They were always going to hate it, and Vince, it's his own fault because he didn't care. In spite of that, he was going to do it anyway. So I don't I don't blame the fans, even though that, that audience I'm not always the biggest fan of because they can kind of put themselves over, too much sometimes at the risk of the show. But, this was just, what can you say? They all knew this was coming. They knew this was going to be the response, so they didn't care. So they got what they asked for. I didn't like it because Brock Lesnar I think he needs to drop the title.
He
And
does.
Roman Reigns, I didn't want to see in his 4th straight main event.
It'll be 5 next year.
Yeah, and that's why I didn't want to see it. And so it is what it is. I mean, the match was perfectly fine, I guess. It's just not what people wanted to see. It wasn't the way to send anyone home happy. Even with Roman losing, it's like they built up a story basically where you're supposed to hate Brock because he doesn't care about wrestling. He's a part-time guy who shows up when he wants, and they put him over. It's so funny because Roman is their guy, but man, I've got to tell you, they have presented him so poorly as a character.
So they're
doing things like that just absolutely kill him, and it's beyond bizarre at this point.
Let's elaborate on that. Monday Night Raw, Roman, and we're just going to talk about the highlights of Raw, what we thought stood out. Roman's promo, he comes out to the big boos, as everyone knew that was going to happen. Cuts this weird ass, ill-prepared garbage, like he didn't want to face Brock again for the title.
It was, again, just something that absolutely buried him. To complain about getting a title match after getting your ass kicked. I mean, how many title matches is this guy going to get? But to complain about having to get a title match, something that nobody else is getting, right? And actually complaining about it, you actually sound like an entitled dickhead.
You do.
Not someone who's sympathetic, not someone who's, the fans are going to warm up to. Man, this promo was a gigantic strikeout. It was exactly not what he needed.
So for those of you who have been under a rock, it's Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar in a steel cage at the Great Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia. And if you guys couldn't tell, this Saudi Arabia event is being treated like WrestleMania light with everything that's happening. So, and it's for a good reason. They want to have a big partnership there, yada, 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 yada. If you bitch about it, you don't understand business and marketing. That's fine. Screw off. The problem was, after Roman bitched about getting another title shot at perhaps their 5th biggest show of the year, Samoa Joe comes out and rips him apart. A great promo by Samoa Joe. Amazing.
It was a great promo, but again, it put over Samoa Joe and make Roman look like an absolute chump.
Do you think that was the point, though?
But I don't know how that could be the point. I mean, they want this guy to win the title and be the guy. How could that possibly be the point? I mean, at this stage, you either turn the guy heel or it's just I don't know what else you can do in the way that you're presenting him now to make it work. I just don't know how that situation will improve. So whatever.
I was just so glad to see Joe come back. Samoan named Joe, the other guy. The other Joe that's Samoan.
Did you hear about the Brock Lesnar alleged incident with Vince McMahon backstage?
Yeah. And which is so funny because then 12 hours later, he signs a new contract.
Yeah, it's hilarious. And then there's dueling reports, one saying, oh, it's for a match. Oh, it's for a match or two. And then you've got the other crowd of dirt sheet writers saying, oh, well, it's a new contract and it's for a while. It's for a multi-year deal. And he's going to, do a UFC fight and he'll take some time off, obviously, to train for that. But it wasn't just a 1 or 2 match deal to put the title back on Roman. Man, this is I think some people are getting worked a little and I don't have all the information. So I'm not going to speculate at all. I'm not sure exactly what's going on and maybe I'll find out. But, obviously there's a lot of misinformation about this situation being put out.
I think in my opinion, it's one of 2 things. It's he wanted Brock for the Saudi Arabia show, in which Roman will win in front of a crowd that likes him, or he wants Lesnar, who he knows will draw every fucking show with his eyes closed, to break CM Punk's streak of holding the title in this modern era that we're in. And I know that sounds like a mark saying that. Vince is the biggest mark of them all. He doesn't want CM Punk having that accolade that he knows still exists and everyone still talks about. Brock's held it for what now? 317 days?
Something like that. I mean, he's getting close, but
that has to be a reason.
They got to take the title off this guy, especially if he's going to fight. If he's not going to appear any more than he did in 2017,
which he won't.
They just have to take the fucking title off this guy. It's just not working anymore. He just doesn't have enough appearances.
But he's still a draw, though. He's still a draw, no matter what anyone says.
Oh, no. I mean, that's why they should try and keep him. But you don't have to keep him and make him the champion who's never there either.
No, 372 days and counting.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. I don't have any evidence that Vince has changed his mind about Roman at all. I think this is all, he made the decision at some point, and again, there's reports that he made it in mid-match, etc. It doesn't really matter. He made the decision at some point, obviously, to go with Brock instead, and this was his way of building sympathy for Roman. Yeah. That's why he did that.
So in 62 days, Brock Lesnar will tie CM Punk's record for the longest reigning championship reign in the modern era with 434. In 62 days, that's June 11th. And if I can look at the WWE pay-per-view schedule real quick. I know that's nowhere near SummerSlam, but June 16th or June 17th is Money in the Bank.
So what you're saying is CM Punk is obviously going to return and take the title from Brock.
In Chicago, Money in the Bank. No.
Just
Brock's going to get cashed in on June 18th on Raw as soon as he breaks Punk's streak. That's my official prediction.
Baron Corbin over Strong Style. Cashing in Money in the Bank. I love
it. That's my prediction. Why else? And that will prove to everyone that, and I am a CM Punk apologist and follower forever and forever. Amen. So that's I admit it, but that what else? I don't know. I don't know what else you can do. The title needs to get off of Brock immediately. I agree 100%.
And I'm for, you know what? If it means Roman gets the title, then so be it. But I want it off of Brock more than anything right now.
I do too. I want a title on the main show, man.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I mean, I think the part-time thing is perfectly fine to do, but not as few dates as he shows up. Not for this long. Not for this long and that few dates. It's just, people are just over it.
Yeah, they really are. So let's talk about the debuts that happened. Authors of Pain came out, kicked some ass. Bobby Lashley returned to the company. No Way Jose. Let's run down the line. Authors of Pain. You like? No Paul Ellering anymore.
Well, I'm surprised. I mean, they pretty much came out looking like the Shield 2.0.
Yeah, they did.
I guess that means that was the end of the Shield.
Yep. Yeah. Well, now there's New Shield. And then it'll be Shield versus New Shield at SummerSlam.
So I would guess it looks like Paul Ellering, he's not able to do the road schedule, so he won't be with the team anymore.
No. Now, do you think he's going to go back to NXT?
I wouldn't see why not.
Yeah, it's an easy schedule. He gets to live in Tampa.
Right. He lives locally and is able to do that, and that's easy.
Yeah. It's what, one night a month almost?
Yeah. I mean, it's taped, so it's not often at all. Yeah, and so that's totally fine. And I always liked Paul Ellering with them. But the guy, I mean, he's 64 years old and had a long career, and he just, he's not going to go on the road. So, I mean, it's fine. Yeah, it's totally fine. I just, man, that look, that Shield look it's kind of a killer on the main roster.
Like?
Well, I just don't like it because it's so similar to the Shield, and it's not original. And while that's fine on NXT because the Shield don't wrestle on NXT, I think on the main roster I don't like it. So whatever. No Way Jose, like what?
That was out of left field. I like No Way Jose. I think he's fun.
He's dead in the water with that gimmick.
He will. Yeah, he certainly will be. He's Adam Rose 2.0.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's a shame. I mean, he's actually kind of a big guy and, he's entertaining, but Jesus. Yeah, it's a gimmick that was cool in NXT, and I think just is going to flop on the main roster.
Well, it even did. I know you don't watch NXT, but it even soured there too. Wasn't nearly as good. Like when in the first few months it was around, it was fun. Then it got kind of old. Mm-hmm. It just got old.
Yeah, it's gonna flop.
Now Bobby Lashley looked good. Like he didn't miss a step.
Yeah. Did you see the tweet I made where I got the screen from production where they had Bobby Lashley's Titantron on the screen, on the computer screen? Okay.
I'll look at it. Why? What about it?
Well, I broke that story too. That Lashley, because it was backstage, and it was one of the monitors showing Bobby Lashley's Titantron intro before Raw went on the air. So it was kind of a spoiler. Of course, I knew he would be coming probably the night after WrestleMania anyway. So, but I'm totally fine with that. I mean, he is definitely older, but I thought he looked, far better than he did his first run.
Sure.
And I'm interested to see what they'll do with him. I would like to see him definitely feud with Brock
and Roman.
Yeah, absolutely. Roman too would be a good matchup.
Did anything else happen on Raw? Oh, Ronda Rousey breaking Steph's arm again.
Yeah, I like that. That was very, very cute. The way they pretended to hug and then she grabbed the arm. I like that. I thought it went well. The only thing I don't like that Ronda Rousey is doing is she's way too forced smiley when she enters the ring. When she's entering the ring, she's walking down the aisle. She's like super smiley happy.
She's Festus.
And I hate that.
She's female Festus.
Yes.
Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong.
And then she got in the ring, and she was fine. She got in the ring and she was serious and it was fine. But it's like, good God. I mean,
Festus.
Just tone down the force. And Finn's doing it too all the time. Finn Balor's another one who's doing the over-the-top forced smiling to the point where it gets a little creepy. Just tone down the forced constant smiling just a little bit.
That's a Vince thing.
I don't know.
It's a Vince thing.
Well, it's stupid either way. So that was a Raw. Well, I guess.
No. There was. Jeff Hardy came back.
Yeah, that was interesting. Obviously, they've decided, based on the story, they've decided to go with him as a single star, not as Brother Nero, the broken or woken character.
Well, they did have an interaction in the back. I feel like it's going to come eventually, so don't rule that out.
Well, it very well could, and it should. But now you've got this tag team with Bray and Matt, and it does seem it's definitely something a little different and interesting. It's it's fine. It's nice to have some character work.
And then Braun relinquished the titles. Him and Nicholas.
Yeah. How stupid, man. Yeah, they give up the titles. They just buried the whole division. That's great. That's just great. Who is going to possibly fucking care about who wins the tag team titles on Raw now?
So Kurt announced the tag team eliminator, and you have the Revival versus Bray and Matt Hardy. Is that at Saudi Arabia or is that on Backlash?
Not sure.
I don't remember what they said.
Not sure.
I think it's Saudi Arabia, and the winner of that match faces the Bar.
Hey, let me ask you this: do you think Finn Balor will be wearing his LGBT, the rainbow flag symbol stuff on his gear to Saudi Arabia?
No, he'll get shot.
I mean, in all seriousness, it's dangerous. So I kind of wonder. He's been wearing that, and it's for a good cause. But I wonder, are they going to let him do that? Of course, when the women wrestled, they had to, in the Middle East, they were all just, Sasha Banks was wearing like this 1950s, one piece like swimsuit type thing, except like everything, her neck was just like kind of ridiculous. So
they have to over there.
Yeah. How ridiculous. So yeah, I don't know what they're going to do. There's no women's matches on the card scheduled.
Nope.
But when the Saudi princes flash some money in front of you, you gotta put the evolution aside and do what's right for business.
Yeah, apparently so.
So I'm just curious, like if Finn will have that or whatever, and I do think, frankly, if not for his own safety, he probably should not.
I agree with you 100%. Now, SmackDown Live. It was live. It was SmackDown. We had a title change. We had a number one contender announced. Let's get to the mediocrity. So, Paige is announced as the SmackDown Live general manager. Since obviously Daniel Bryan is a wrestler now, Paige is now as the acting GM. And I loved the response to that from the fans.
Yeah, but you can't expect that every week.
No, of course not. No.
Yeah, and this is the WrestleMania crowd. So we'll see how it plays out after that.
The ones that cheer for who they normally boo, and those that boo for who they normally cheer.
It's so cringeworthy. They keep saying that because the only person that applies to is Roman Reigns.
They said it for Elias too. Corey said it like 6 fucking times. But now the crowd has international flavor.
It's ridiculous. What the hell does that even mean?
That they travel from all over the world and they're the most passionate fans, and it's all about fun.
What a stupid ass thing to make him say.
Do you think it gave me a headache. I hate that so much. It's the most triggering thing in all it to me for that whole fucking company is to actually say that shit. So unbelievable.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't get it.
Oh my god. I'm getting mad thinking about it. What else? And then Jonathan Coachman said that the Saudi Arabia, and I tweeted at him, and he responded to me, of course, and said that I was wrong. I said that it's good. The coach said that the Saudi Arabia card is the biggest since Mania. Glad to know how special WrestleMania feels like, because they're touting the Saudi Arabia card like bigger than WrestleMania, and he's like, I said since WrestleMania. Thank you for listening, or something like that. It doesn't. Still, WrestleMania was 24 hours ago. Calm down.
Come on, John. Are you trolling the coach on Twitter? Jesus, this is what we've devolved into.
Yeah, no more Meltzer, just the coach.
You've moved on to more important people.
I have people that actually are relevant.
People actually in the wrestling business. Amazing. So they are really pushing this, and it's on the network, and so you know,
Friday afternoon.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I can't imagine it's going to get like a ton of live viewers.
Just bad timing. I'll watch and tune in. But yeah, you're right. It'll be hard during work hours, Eastern time.
During the American work hours.
Yeah.
You know. So, but you know, whatever.
Yeah, we shall see.
It's all based on, you know, it's $9.99, man. It's all whatever.
No, it's free.
Yeah, it's free if you're a new subscriber. Yeah.
WrestleMania was free for the 3rd year in a row.
Yeah. So it's, it's all like whatever. So it doesn't even matter anymore.
And then and then CM Punk was the asshole that said, "Hey, how are we gonna get paid?" Fuck him, right, for asking good questions. Oh well. So AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan had a match. It was very good. And they were able to pull off a lot of great stuff until Nakamura came in, kicked Daniel Bryan's head off, reconcussed him, elbowed AJ in the balls twice. He stole the Undertaker's gimmick and walked away. But I think the best part about the whole Nakamura thing was when Renee was asking him why he did it. He says, "Sorry, Renee, I don't speak English."
That was his best promo yet. His best backstage segment yet. Whatever you want to call it. It was...
That's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair.
It really was. I mean, you know, it was entertaining. So hopefully this is the way they're going to present him going forward. It was definitely his best stuff to date in main roster WWE. So
now,
I was a fan of it.
Where do you see this going? Bryan, Nakamura, Styles. It seems like they're the 3 right now. They love multi-man matches. Road Dogg needs 5 more to make it 8, so we'll see more of that. Will it be Bryan, Nakamura, Styles at Backlash?
Yeah, might as well throw on the whole card. I mean, that's what they like to do anyway. So might as well make it like the first 12 way.
Okay. And Jeff Jarrett has to sing "With My Baby Tonight" right behind it.
Right. And Road Dogg will forget the words.
Yeah, because he's an idiot. Now, I don't. He might be dumb. I don't know. I have no idea. Where's Baron Corbin? I'm not doing it to screw with you. I'm being very serious.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know if he was in a dark match or... I mean, he's obviously on live events, but I don't know. Maybe they're just holding off on him until they have, a new feud, rivalry, as they call it. I don't know. I definitely worry about him, though, very recently. I definitely worry about his character. You know, they're going to start making these pay-per-views, both brands.
Yep. Less spots.
Less spots and...
Unless they make every pay-per-view 5 hours.
And they've really de-pushed him. He spoke out at CTE and they waited until the outrage passed over, and then they just started the de-push. And that's what they do. So he hasn't recovered since. And, I was just listening to a Dolph Ziggler interview today that he did during WrestleMania weekend.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and he said that Baron Corbin was really fun to work with on live events.
Huh.
Or just, really fun to work with in general, but he was talking about, like the people he worked, especially on live events, several nights a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he said that Baron was, really fun to work with.
And then you had to pull over and change your sweatpants.
Yeah, then I had to pull over and change my sweatpants.
Yeah.
And then I had to put on new sweatpants and change those.
Yes, you did.
But it was actually an interesting remark coming from Dolph, who we all know is obviously really sharp in the ring. So
he is.
That was actually, I thought, quite a compliment. So and he actually said the same thing about Bobby Roode as well.
Okay, I'm not surprised by that.
Yeah, and I've seen them, I've seen Corbin and Dolph a couple of times. Were you when we went to the live event together? Was that Corbin and Dolph?
I think so.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen them have some good matches on live events. I've always enjoyed their matches together.
Yeah, I have too. I have no complaints at all.
I just don't. I just don't get it. I don't know. The answer is I don't know what they're doing. I don't think they do either.
So let's talk about the big news from tonight. And we'll kind of end on this because really nothing else happened. Natalya and Naomi had a match. No one cares. New Day and Usos had a decent tag. Bludgeon Brothers came out and said, "Oh, we'll get you," and that was it.
Stupid.
Yeah. Peyton Royce and Billy Kay debuted.
Who cares? Next.
Oh, shut up. Called the Iconics. A little bit of a name change for.
They're going to be iconically put in multi-person matches next week, so we might as well start getting ready for the Road Dogg booking.
I don't know why you hate them. They were excellent in NXT.
Who cares? I don't watch the minor leagues.
Well, you're going to have to watch them now.
What was their introduction? Leagues. Please tell me what their character is, how I should know them if I've never watched NXT or the Indies.
That's not their fault.
I'm not saying it's their fault. The person, I'm saying this is a TV show. Please tell me how I'm supposed to know about their character. How am I investing in them besides marking out for their in-ring work or something in the Indies and the minor leagues? What is their character? What is their motivation? Why are they here? What do they want to do? Why are they a group?
It's like you're blaming them for that. Whenever
I'm not blaming them. They're portraying a role, which is really shitty. So I'm blaming the creative process for that.
So like you want it to be vignette focused.
I want it to be something. Give me something. This is an entertainment TV show about fake fights. So give me something about the character besides just another woman on the roster who's going to be doing fake fights. Why should I care? Their
promo tonight was good. They have great chemistry together. They're best friends in real life, so that helps. They're natural bitches, and WWE needs that. They need people that are good at getting the people pissed off at them. And they beat the fuck out of Charlotte. Well, they did it well, and Carmella cashed in. Which, by the way, what was the whole spot with the ref refusing to do that?
God, man, this is so incredibly stupid and cringeworthy.
Was that a Road Dogg thing? I mean, we obviously don't know, but was that a directive from creative to say, "Well, just have Kyoto not want to do it for literally"?
No, that's what they do every time. If you noticed, every time they cash in,
but this was
the refs are instructed to take some time and look stupid.
But this was much longer than usual.
Yeah, I mean, it's much longer than usual. It was intentional. And it's like, okay, I mean, here's a guy who's been a ref for 20 years, and he's acting like he doesn't know what she's doing. I mean, it's a joke. I mean, it's that. Yeah. That is so insulting to my intelligence as a viewer of their TV show that it's just, you can't possibly enjoy that. You're just kind of like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's how I would.
It's so stupid. They've got to stop doing that. It's really, really bad. It's the worst thing about these Money in the Bank matches, the Money in the Bank stuff. The worst thing about it is the referees who are doing this and acting like they have no idea what this briefcase is. It's just absolutely stupid. And that's not the only thing that's stupid. What's stupid is having Charlotte end Asuka's 2-year undefeated streak at WrestleMania. And 2 nights later, instead of presenting her as the top star in women's sports entertainment, they just have her drop the title to Carmella. And she loses.
Yeah.
How stupid is this?
Their reasoning for that is Charlotte's going to Raw.
And that could be it. But that is fucking stupid. It made her look terrible.
It did.
Of course it did. I mean, she just had this enormous win, broke the streak. It's supposed to be a ton of momentum, and she just loses 2 days later.
Now, what happened?
It all ends. They killed her momentum. I just don't understand it. It's,
What happened when Brock broke the streak?
Brock broke the streak, but he had a ton of momentum. Like Brock. I mean, you look, Brock freaking almost never loses.
Well, but I mean specifically, what happened after Brock beat the Undertaker streak? He was the hottest act in wrestling for 2 years straight.
Yeah. Well, yeah. He won the big match. He got the momentum from that, and they capitalized on it. And instead of doing that with Charlotte, they actually just went in the opposite. Could you imagine Brock Lesnar ends the streak, and then the next night on Raw, he loses a squash to a jobber? I don't get it. I mean, that's supposed to get over? Like, that's supposed to not bury Charlotte? Man, that was just terrible. Very, very bad.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Last but not least, the #1 contenders triple threat for the U.S. title with Jinder Mahal at ringside, Rusev, Randy Orton, and everyone's favorite, Bobby Roode. Randy Orton wins. God help me.
The feud that everybody wants to see. Not really. Randy Orton and Jinder Mahal. It's back. God, man, when I saw this, I just thought, how could they possibly think this is a good idea again? I mean, everybody hated this when they had their WWE Championship feud. And it wasn't that long ago. And they're going to do it again, for the U.S. Championship.
So using your logic from earlier, wouldn't they have wanted Rusev to be the #1 contender? Right? To put more heat on Jinder.
Well, they didn't want Rusev in the match to begin with. He was going to be in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. And they slipped him in to use him. But it's not like they have any plans for him. It's like I've said all along about Rusev. Like we've talked about on the podcast. They're going to use how over he is as heat to get someone to beat him. And, they'll put him in these situations where he's getting a little more attention than he was. But doesn't mean they're going to do anything with him. He is where he is. They don't see him as the main event. And so he's going to be used, as over as he is, to put the guys over they want to get over, period. That's just that's what they do. It's like I said, the Daniel Bryan thing was an outlier. This is what they do. Yeah.
In fact, Daniel Bryan should have technically never happened. So.
Yeah.
Where can everyone find you on Twitter?
At the Brad Shepard, SHEPARD. Just follow me on Twitter. Just do it.
Oh, but before I'm John Fisher TV on Twitter. Your thoughts on the 5-hour Hall of Fame ceremony?
Way too long. Way too long. Goldberg still can't sell out a building. A lot of empty seats.
Hillbilly Jim put people to sleep.
Oh my God. Wow. That was brutal. And I was a Hillbilly Jim fan, like growing up in that golden era. I was a fan of his, and I loved his entrance music.
Everyone did.
Yeah. But man, wow. Like, that was just brutal. Yeah, I'm sitting there watching it. It was just kind of surreal. It was so awkward, so brutal. It kept going on forever. It was awkward for everybody there, and it was just dead silent. And wow.
Yeah, I feel bad for the editor that had to put that into an hour on the USA Network.
I mean, it was just too long. There were some great parts. I mean, overall, I enjoyed it. I really did. There were some really great moments.
The Dudleys were fun, and so were Edge and Christian.
The Dudleys were fun. They were really kind of brutal, taking shots at each other, almost to the point where it was a little awkward, like, are they shooting on each other? But no, that's just their style, really busting balls, It was really good, I thought. The Jeff Jarrett thing was good, even though Road Dogg can't remember the words to his own song. And Goldberg was good, I thought. Mark Henry was good. And I thought JJ, the kid who got inducted with the Warrior Award, I thought he was actually really funny as well.
Yeah.
Overall, I thought it was really good, minus Hillbilly Jim. But, man, it was just too long. And it's hard because, like, how can you tell these guys you only have, 20 minutes to talk about your career and who you want to thank? But at the same time, it's clearly not working with the people. Like, people are not going to sit there for 5 hours and watch this. And you've got the superstars who we're all clearing out. And it's because they have media. They have to be up. They have like 5 a.m. things to do. Like, the next day. They can't stay there till, 12 something in the morning and then get up, in 4.5 hours after that for the next day. So, it's too much. They've got to figure that out, especially when you have shows like, you had the Lucha Underground versus Impact Wrestling and the ROH show specifically that night as well.
Yeah.
So you've got some different shows, indie shows in the area. Matt Riddle had an indie show, et cetera, et cetera. So the point is there's other options. So do you want to watch the Hall of Fame for 5 hours or do you want to go to, a non-WWE wrestling show? I mean, it's not, that formula is not working anymore. I think they need to change it. I just don't know that they will.
They won't. They won't. Oh, I forgot the Kurt Angle TNA reference.
Oh yeah, that popped me huge. That was hilarious. I couldn't believe they did that.
Was that scripted? It had to have been, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it was scripted. And I think it was Sanjay Dutt that said basically, "Oh yeah, we've been waiting for," or maybe it wasn't him, but it was someone from who's in the office or has a leadership role in Impact Wrestling. It said, that's, hey, they weren't dissing us. We've been waiting, for years to get mentioned on Raw. So the way they saw it, it was they won.
Good PR.
Yeah. So but I thought it was hilarious.
I did too.
Yeah.
Do you have I'm not going to ask you if you have any other thoughts because you'll talk about Hulk Hogan's penis. Is there, what do you
I'm just reporting what he said when he was under oath.
I know. That's fine.
That was his testimony, brother.
Too close. Instead of asking you if you have anything else, who was your MVP of WrestleMania weekend? That could include TakeOver, WrestleMania, the Hall of Fame, Raw, or SmackDown.
Yeah, so as far as WrestleMania weekend, the MVP was Ronda Rousey.
Okay. For me, call me a mark all you want. For me, it is Carmella. Because, yes, and hear me out. I watched Carmella debut on NXT. Nothing more than a valet for Big Casshole and the guy who got fired. And
the joke is there.
Yeah, she couldn't talk.
She lost 400 pounds of dead weight. Now she's the biggest star of the three of them.
Yeah. She couldn't talk. She can wrestle. And to see her actually win the championship is very cool. So, kudos. That's it. That's my MVP. Carmella. Hard work paid off.
I don't think, it's fine. Whatever. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. Well, it's good because we have to end the podcast. So no more cheap shots from you. We'll see everyone next week. Enjoy it. Backlash is almost here.
That's right. Dean sucks and good night.